From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football, the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Hampton Crabbers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium for tonight's battle between the 6-1 Hampton Crabbers and the 3-4 Kecoughtan Warriors. And Bob, of course, this is one of those rivalries. I know you're going to have talked to both of the coaches, and I know they're going to say the same thing. They don't have to get the kids up for these games. And again, when you're 3-4, struggling, not exactly making it all happen, it's tough. But when you get into this game, you're ready to play.
Well, and the kids are ready to play, and this is one thing I talked to Coach Coles about was, getting the kids up, and there's no way you have to worry about that. But what Kecoughtan has to worry about is getting a complete game from everybody. When the offense plays good, the defense or the special teams don't. So everybody's not playing the complete game, and that's what he'd like to do. It's going to be a perfect game for him tonight, and Hampton not to play real well for them to beat Hampton.
Well, now, Kecoughtan, their season for postseason purposes is over with. Yep. They have been eliminated, but there's still a very strong pride factor. And we've seen a Kecoughtan team that has done just what you've said. Real good one game, real average the next game, right. And their offense here and their defense not, and so forth. So I guess Coach Coles really has to put it all together. He's not feeling well tonight.
No, he's had, I don't know, with walking pneumonia, missed school all last week, has been there this week. But, if you're not feeling well, it's hard to get up and get your kids pumped up too, and you don't want to get too close to them because you don't want to infect them with anything that you got. So, it's a bad situation all around for him. But he's got some good assistant coaches, and Dan Thompson and Brian Hebert. They do a great job and well prepared, and they break down the film, and they look at tendencies, and that's what you ask from your assistant coaches to do. And they probably have stepped up and done more than what they needed to do at the normal assistant coach level, but that's part of the game.
We've seen Kecoughtan struggle passing the ball. They've had the most effective offense has been their running. But what are they going to have to do to beat this Hampton team tonight?
Well, I don't think they're going to be able to run as much as they'd like to, but if they can get Thompson to throw a couple passes and be successful, they don't have to be long, but just enough to make Hampton aware they do have a passing game. Ease up that defense. It may help their running attack a little bit tonight.
Now, on the other side of the ball, the Hampton Crabbers, it's playoff time. I know it's still a regular season, but it really is playoff time. As anyone has been made aware that you follow high school football, you've got Heritage, Hampton, Phoebus, and Warwick all vying for 3 spots at the very most, but more likely two spots.
Yeah. And if it's just 2 spots, it may come down to what happens tomorrow night when Warwick and Phoebus play. If Phoebus can win that game, then you got to the point that next week we got a big game with Phoebus and Hampton. So, and it's going to be a big game anyway, regardless, because if you got 3 teams with 2 losses, then you got to look at the power rating. And don't ask me to explain that. I wouldn't even attempt to. I don't have my abacus here. Can't do it.
All right. A little earlier, Bob had a chance to talk to head coach Roscoe Coles of the Kecoughtan Warriors.
I have Roscoe Coles with me, head coach of the Warriors. Roscoe, you have not been feeling well. Missed last week. You were in school all this week. Got a little bit of the walking pneumonia or something going on. But how you feeling tonight?
Well, I'm going to be okay. We do have the pneumonia fluid in my lungs, but I'm going to be fine.
Well, good enough. Do you want to talk to you about your team? Because I know you want to try to get everybody on the same page, playing well together at the same time.
Absolutely. We struggled all year to get that perfect game, and I guess everybody does. But we're trying to get offense, defense, and special teams to play on the same sheet. We have good offense one game, and we have bad special team, and defense does okay. And tonight we like to put it all together and have a complete package and see what happens.
Now, does it take you much to get your kids up to play Hampton?
I think that's probably one of those no-brainers. No, our kids are really, most of them excited because they know they get to play about, there's 6 or 7 kids they play against that were their teammates at one time or another, so they looking sort of forward to it.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't figure there'd be much trouble getting them up for the game. Well, listen, I hope you get feeling better.
Well, we're going to be okay.
And we wish you good luck for tonight.
Thank you.
All right, let's go up to Tim.
Well, Coach Coles didn't sound real good. Poor man is barely here, I think, but he will be here for the game. He'll be here for his guys, and they'll put up a valiant fight, I'm sure.
Oh, they will, because the young men, they have pride, and they want to. If they don't win, they want to at least show real positive playing ability tonight, and come away with some pride anyway, that we played as hard as we can. We were beat because we were just outmanned. We don't want to get beat because we made some mistakes, or we couldn't run the ball, or our defense couldn't stop them. We just let us play good ball, and maybe if we're close at the end, we might have a chance.
Well, and one thing we've seen from Kecoughtan, and I know this is going to sound like a cliche, but we have seen when they've struggled, they don't quit. They play all 4 quarters. They're out there putting their best out, and they may not win the game, but they're going to give you everything they got.
Right. We talk about some cliches. I have something I'll share with you and the audience later on tonight. But, Hampton is just so fundamentally sound, and Mike, in the interview you'll hear in just a minute, said they went back to some basics because they weren't happy with their execution and things that they were doing. So, that makes a big difference.
Talking about, I want to clarify something too. Last week when we did the game, there was an instance when a punt was being fielded.
I talked to
and there was a well, I didn't know you'd already talked to him as well, but let me clarify or at least apologize to Richard Rawls if I did criticize his call on that, or his team's call. It is a judgment call. 3 years ago, and you may have heard the same thing, if a kicking team member interfered with the ball in any way, caught it in the air, it was automatically an interference with the opportunity to catch the ball.
Right.
Now, the kicking team, the rules were changed, and now the kicking team can, in fact, catch the ball if they wanted to, as long as they don't, by judgment, interfere with the other team's opportunity to catch the ball.
Except on a kickoff. The kickoff has to hit the ground. You can't catch that in the air, but you're right, on a punt. And that was one of the things that we couldn't understand last week. Of course, we had the replay, and Scotty did a great job on that last week, that showed that the receiver was backing up. So we could see the backing up. He wasn't going to try to catch the ball, but anyway.
And a good 7 or 8 yards from the ball while backing up. So, but it's a judgment call, and if I did impugn Mr. Rawls' efficiency, I apologize for that.
Well, see, he's got some friends over in Russia, so you better be careful.
All right, now we're going to go back in time. Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
I have the Crabbers coach with me, Mike Smith. Mike, every game is important when you get to this part of the season, because you try to get to the next level, which is the regionals. You can't overlook any team, can you?
Well, every game's important every week, because if you didn't win those first ones, this wouldn't be account for too much either.
Right,
but you try to play each game all the same, prepare as the best you can, and work hard. We spent a lot of time back on fundamentals this week, particularly on defense, and just try to be a better football team. I think you start working more against yourself than you do other people, and it seems like we've been doing that all year, just trying to get a little better every week. And last couple of weeks, I don't know that we've gotten any better, and hopefully this week we're better than we were the last 2 weeks.
Well, good enough. But listen, when you guys look at a film, you guys do a great job of breaking down and looking at tendencies. Now, that is almost like an all-day Sunday, isn't it, when you sit down and look at the films?
Well, I think most all day on Sunday, that's to get you started.
Right.
But in most instances, you've had a chance, an opportunity to see the other teams play a couple of times prior to the film. And then after you chart them, we do our charts on Sunday. And then you go back and make any adjustments during the week as you continue to watch them. And it's a pretty busy schedule for everybody, for the other people as well as us, I guess. And I think everybody's doing that now.
Well, good enough. Well, listen, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thanks, Bob.
Stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium, as the teams, or at least one of the teams, is on the sideline, and the captains will be meeting at the center of the field with the officials momentarily. Tonight's contest brought to you by Zooms, with 6 convenient Peninsula locations, and by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. Well, Bob, here come the Crabbers after huddling for under the goalpost to our left.
Tim?
you had something you want to tell us about?
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to let the fans know that we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams tonight, and that player receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. Dave Buckwald is owner. The shirt comes with Islander Sporting Goods. They're located in Poquoson, and they can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniform, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is owner. They're getting ready to go out in the middle of the field, Tim. And, the coaches talked to them just before they came out, and they probably said, men, if we play our game, bring our A game, take it one game at a time, stick to the game plan, stay within ourselves, dictate the tempo, impose your will, give 110%, take it to another level, take the crowd out of the game, make something happen, show your athleticism, stop the penetration, pick up your intensity, execute, focus, convert, and leave it all on the field. It's anybody's ball game.
Well, I'm glad there was no cliches used. All right, let's go to the center of the field, and hopefully we'll be able to hear Bill Dozier, the referee, with the pregame ceremonies.
You white, Hampton, I'll call you red. I'll have file ask for the white captain or the red captain. One thing I want you to take back, when you hit somebody, they know they've been hit. You don't have to get in their face and tell them, okay? Stay out of people's face and we're on any unsportsmanlike. Okay. Who's going to in the air, call it loud enough for everybody to hear you. If I drop it, we'll do it again. Okay, ready? Head! Caught ahead. He's caught ahead. It's ahead. It's ahead, okay? You guys are going to drop. Now to your second half. You're going to defer to the second half, right? Kick it in at one toss. All right, Hampton, you're off. You receive. You'll kick. Which goal do you want to defend? You want to kick that way. Put your backs around here. Kick it. Hampton, come around here. Hampton will receive at this end. Guys, bring them out. Have a good ball game. Good luck to you.
Appreciate Bill Dozier.
And there you see the Warriors and the Crabbers as we get set for this contest. There are your officials for tonight. Bill Dozier is your referee. George Adamowski is the umpire. Mick Hartzheim is the linesman. Mike Jersiga is the line judge. Pete Smith, easy one for me to pronounce, field judge. And Dan Rickendorf is your back judge. The officials tonight, and as you heard, Bill Dozier, the referee, is going to be mic'd.
There's a good shot of Dan.
I wonder why they keep feeding Bob Hicks and Tim Cole. And looking at them, y'all the ones that need to eat, not those two. I'm going to tell you that right now. Tell them I said that.
Thanks, Danny.
Eating what?
Oh, well, I guess that you got to love the guy. Well,
hey, there's my buddy down there by Mr. Baton. That is the award-winning Ken Silver, the photographer from the Daily Press, standing right in front of Ron. Ron will be in a great position to get some great shots there.
Yes, he will. There's a good shot of him, and of course he owes you money now. So he knows that you, that you told Ron Baton to go down and do it.
Ken's a good guy. All right, the Warriors, as you heard, have deferred to the second half. So Jason Broski will be kicking off.
Jason Broski.
And he'll be kicking it to a trio of deep receivers. They include Joe Smith, and this is an onside kick attempt. That ball is loose. Now, did one of the Warriors touch it prematurely as before it went 10 yards, and that's probably going to be the call.
That was a neat call, though. You try to get something to happen right at the beginning.
Why not? It almost worked.
Yep.
The Warriors did recover it, but they also touched it before it went 10 yards.
So Hampton gets the ball where it was touched.
Yep. Now, had the ball gone 10 yards, of course, Kecoughtan or anyone could recover the ball. But since it didn't go 10 yards before Kecoughtan touched it, they were guilty of illegal touching.
I'll give you the offensive starters for the Crabbers after this play. Crabbers, great field position, Tim. That's one of the bad things about that.
There's a good thing and a bad thing. The bad thing is the Warriors are looking at the Hampton Crabbers at the 48-yard line. Carlos Campbell on the quarterback keeper, dropped it, got it back. Luckily for him, it bounced right back to him. So he picked up yardage. There you go.
Here your center is Tidwell. The guards are Perry and Williams. The tackles Godwin and Travis. Split end is Taylor. Flanker is Fenner. I got two flankers there. Matthews, the quarterback, Campbell. Jones is the fullback, and Alvin Banks is the tailback tonight, number 8, starting. Steve Wyatt got hurt and probably will not play at all tonight.
Gain of 5 by Campbell, second down and 5. This is Alvin Banks, and Banks to the outside is tackled at the 31-yard line, spun out of bounds, but not until he gets a first down.
We did some nice moves there. We'll show you the defense for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
All right, they are. The tackle is Jamar Sumter, along with Terrence Davis. McDonald and Hammond are the ends. The inside linebackers are Pendleton and Banks. Anderson and DiCarlo are the outside corners. The cornerbacks are Richmond and Player. And Carter Jones is your safety for Kecoughtan. First down for Hampton. Ball is at the 31-yard line of Kecoughtan. This is Big Mac. Mac Jones carries to about the 26, a gain of 5. So the Crabbers sticking to the ground, grinding it out, get 5 yards, second down and 5. Anytime you can pick up 5 or more yards on first down, you're in great shape.
Absolutely.
Hampton 6-1 overall, 5-1 in the district. Kecoughtan 3-3 in the district, 3-4 on the season. Warriors show blitz. Campbell keeps it and picks up just a yard as he is tripped up at the 25-yard line. So it'll be third down and 4.
That was Corey Davis, big number 55, that made the tackle that time. Tim just got him around the ankles, and there was nothing he could do. The Warriors brought a linebacker up tight in and just kind of took that lane away where the play was going.
Out of the I formation. And we've got a whistle and flags. No, we have a timeout.
Yeah, they tried to draw him offside. It didn't work. Tim Zoom's, of course, one of our corporate sponsors, and they are giving an award to the senior football player on each one of the Hampton school teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continuing support to WHCS and, of course, our student athletes. And I want to name those young men who are recipients from these two teams, if I can find it on my sheet of paper.
Yeah, you just showed it to me a while ago.
I know, and I lost it.
Well, I'm sure you'll find it.
Here we go. Here we go for the, I'll tell you in a minute.
All right. Third down and 4. Campbell, and he's got the first down and plenty as he is inside the 10, and they rule now that his knee touched at the 9-yard line.
That was a knee move because I wasn't sure his knee touched, but the official right on top of it. The Academic Excellence Award are going to be received by number 55, Chris Perry of the Hampton Crabbers, and number 10, Joseph Player from Kecoughtan. Now watch this nice move here because it looked like he's going out of bounds. Oh, that
just barely touched his knee.
I tell you, that was close.
First and goal, the ball just inside the 10. Double wides to the left side. I formation again with Banks and Jones. And this is Campbell on the keeper, and he tries the corner, and he is in for a touchdown.
Wow. My goodness. He took out that defensive back.
A 9-yard run by Carlos Campbell on the opening drive. And again, the onside kick gave Hampton great field position.
Watch how he bowls over 2 defensive line. Well, actually just 1.
He definitely rolled over one.
He got a little help, but what a nice run.
So the Crabbers march down the field, a 48-yard drive capped by the 9-yard touchdown run by Campbell. The kick is up, and it is good. And our score with 9:23 remaining in the first quarter is Hampton 7 and Kecoughtan nothing. Looking over, we were talking about in the past, we've talked about the stable of running backs that Mike Smith has over at Hampton. Each game, it seems like a different guy steps up and makes his presence known. And early in the season, Carlos Campbell had 123 yards passing as Hampton beat the Bruins 21-0. Then later on, Their defense came up big against Menchville, shut them out 62-0. The Joe Smith jumps up and does a great job after the Heritage loss. And then Alvin Banks comes in last week and has 123 yards to spear the Crapper win over Gloucester. So they got so many weapons, it's very difficult. You can't really key on any one player.
Well, you know, that's what the coaches told me at the beginning of the season, that they're real deep in their running backs. And all of these young men can run the ball, Tim. They're very quick, very elusive, and very hard-nosed.
All right, the kick off after the extra point will be taken at the 16-yard line. Nice move, almost got away. He was close to breaking that one. That was a good job by Carter Jones, number 22.
Well, let's call him J.R. Carter. Isn't that the J.R.? No, it's Banks. I'm sorry. I knew there was a J.R. somewhere.
All right, here are the Warriors on offense. The center is Gaddis. Davis and Davis, this sounds like a law firm, are the guards. Swanson and Mitchell are your tackles. The wideout is Williams. Haysbert is the tight end. The Z-back is Player. Fullback Green. Tailback Anderson. And Terrence Thompson is your quarterback. He hands off right up the middle to Justin Green. And Green is out close to the 35-yard line before he stopped. A gain of 4. Second down of 6 for the Warriors.
Show you the defense for the Crabbers. At guards, we have Steve Williams and Chris Green. At the tackles, Nolan Carter and Chris Perry. The ends are Lawrence Callis and James Matthews. The linebackers, Mac Jones and Stephen Lee. Corners, Joe Smith and Derek Fenner. And the safety is Carlos Campbell.
Mark it just at the 35-yard line. Again to the middle of the line, and a good surge out close to the 40. It'll be short of the first down by about a yard.
But short, third and short, Tim, not where they were the last time, a little long. Great surge that time after he was hit.
Manny Anderson, the ball carrier that time for Kecoughtan. So they need to get across the 41. Ball is just short of the 40. Third down and a yard. Thompson, right side, and nothing happening.
He was ran into a wall.
Stacked up for a loss, and in the bottom of that pile was number 61, Chris Green, making the initial stop, and the ball carrier, Manny Anderson, did not get the first down. In fact, he even lost a yard. So it's fourth down and a couple. So Jason Broski will come on to try.
Watch this, just boom, right there. There was just nowhere for him to go. Big number 70, Stephen Williams just plugged up that hole.
Green made the tackle, but you're right. Nice looking kick along the sidelines. Beautiful job of kicking it right at the 11-yard line. Jason Broski just doing an outstanding job this year kicking for the Warriors. So the Crabbers will have poor field position to start this drive. 48-yard punt and
nice
no return.
punt.
That was just perfect. You know, Carlos Campbell is so dangerous back there. You don't want him to have a chance. So you use the sideline to pin him like that. And, of course, it helps a little bit. There's a slight breeze to the back of the kicker, but that was a fine kick under any circumstance.
It most certainly was, but what a good job to kick it away from the all-explosive X-Man, as you used to call him, Carlos Campbell.
So the Crabbers with an opportunity for the second time. They scored on their first drive. Derek Fenner comes to the near side. Jones is in the backfield. And again, this is Mac Jones as he just goes straight up the middle to about the 16-yard line. So he picks up 5.
That was just no more than the option play. Your first option is to the quarterback is it to the fullback. The second one, he either pitches, and the third one he keeps it, or he either keeps it on the second one and pitches on the third. But that's your triple option.
Boy, I tell you, talk about perfect weather for football.
Nice.
We just had like 3 weeks in a row. It's been in the, upper 60s, a light breeze tonight, no humidity, no chance of rain. Mr. Braxton was just thankful as he could be. That's our Rain Man cameraman. Right up the middle once again as the Warriors were showing blitz.
And they did send somebody from the left side, Tim, that time. It kind of plugged up a little, but they still picked up a couple yards.
That was That's what I understand. We have a mobile cable technician in training. What was the first name? Juan Brown.
Juan Brown, and that's their.
Yeah, he's learning to stand around and.
Hey, you better. Well,
I'll tell you one thing. If you needed to check the color on your TV set, you could just focus in on the two of them, and that would do a good job for you.
Asia Carroll and Era Towns are the other two.
3rd and 2. And trapped in the backfield, and looks like he got enough, and he's hurt.
Tim, he had to get
right.
to the 22.
You're right, needed to get to the 22.
But his knee, he went down real funny on his knee that time. We're talking about Banks.
Alvin Banks. No, you're right. I was looking at the line of scrimmage marker, and he needed to get another yard. Let's see if we can see what happened here.
Oh, right there, he's went down kind of funny, and he's walking off on his own, which is good.
He's
good sign.
Limping pretty noticeably, but to at least not be carried off, that's the good news. He kind of fell awkwardly on that leg.
Well, that brings up 4th down, and let's see what the Crabbers are going to do. Tim, our instant replay is Bev Penn. Our cameras are Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, and Ron Baton on the sideline. Engineer Don Chiraus. Graphics and audio, our buddy Andy Foley. And big director, Scotty Mimia Bowers.
Campbell in deep punt formation at the 5-yard line. It was 4th down in the yard, and they won't take a chance here. He gets a strange-looking kick, a spinner that doesn't quite make it to midfield. The Crabbers will down it at the 49-yard line of Hampton, so the Warriors will have good field position here.
Well, that shows you what a kicking game can give you. The Warriors got a great kick, 48 yards, I think Kellen told us.
Mm-hmm.
And so they end up now in first time in Hampton territory with the ball.
Ball is at the Hampton 47-yard line. So the Warriors with their second opportunity. Hampton 7, Kecoughtan nothing. We've got 5:23 left here in the first quarter. On the option, Terrence Thompson will pick up about 2 to the 45-yard line. And he is stopped there by number 55 for the Crabbers. That is Chris Perry.
Tim, what happens next week?
What part of next week?
Next Friday.
Oh, man, we are here for D game of D week, which is Hampton and Phoebus.
But it's also the last game of regular game of the season.
Yeah, it is. And I understand you're having some surgery on Wednesday.
Yeah, I might be walking wounded coming up for Friday night.
You're tough. You're tough. You know, most people don't go into the hospital for hangnail, but, you know, I feel
well,
like
you do what you can do, right?
As an outpatient, and I admire your toughness.
What are they going to put me under?
No, I don't. I'm leaving that one alone. 44-yard line is where they've marked it. 3rd down and long now for the Warriors. 3rd down and about, let's call it 7.
Warriors just need to get a couple first downs to get a little momentum going here.
Thompson taking a long time over center. He'll drop back to pass. Has some time. Got a man open. He did not complete the pass. Looked like for a moment that Joseph Player would make the grab, but he was unable to hold on to it. And now the Warriors will be faced with 4th down and 7. 4:05 to go in the first quarter. Watch your replay here. Thompson over center looking across. Has some time here. The offensive line did a good job of giving him time.
But Player was bringing the ball, trying to bring it down, and just lost it. Let's see if the Crabbers go after Broski. He had a great kick last time. And
now it looks like Hampton has taken a timeout, and that will be the call.
The second timeout in actually it's still first quarter.
So we've got 4:05 to go.
Jim, you got to be tough to go in for surgery for a hangnail. I mean, it's not an easy thing.
No, I'm making light of it, and I know it's just got to get your HMO to cover that.
Yeah, really.
You understand it's your rotator cuff, is that?
Rotator cuff, yeah. And the right shoulder got a couple tears. And Dr. Stiles promised me he'll fix me up good. I'm not going to be playing golf for a few months, but.
So you ask him the old question, will he be able to play the piano? And he says, yes, this is great, doctor. I never could before. So. Yeah, that'll take you off the golf course. I understand if I can get my approvals at work, you and I are going to play your final round on Monday before the surgery. So
you get off. We got tea time, 12 o'clock.
Okay. Jason Broski standing back at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I thought they'd go after him.
Oh, they did. They hit him, but Bill Dozier said, nope, no blood, no foul. Contact, but no penalty flag at the 15-yard line.
Jason said, I'm not too sure about it. Did you get the size of that truck?
Jason needs to fall down a little more convincingly if he gets contact. Watch the replay. See if you can see. Well, no, it looks like you'll see
nothing but the ball in the air. We missed it.
Good kick, though. Went out of bounds again. Excellent placement by Broski back to the 15-yard line. So he's gotten the job done. They almost got to the ball, but he did get it away cleanly. Some contact, but referee Dozier ruled not enough to warrant a penalty flag. So Hampton now again deep in their own territory. Sticking to the ground. This is Joe Smith, and Smith picks up a yard or two. Hampton has used Smith, Banks, Campbell, Anderson, mixing it up pretty thoroughly. 75, Terrence Davis looked like he was the man last off the pile. I'll give him credit for the tackle.
Yeah, they call him Tank.
Yep, I see that would be probably a reasonable thing to 6'3", 278. He looks.
It looks like a tank coming at you.
Tank. Mark it at the 16-yard line, so a yard pickup on the play. Again, double wides to the near side. Split to the left is one receiver out of the I formation. Smith. The fake actually to Smith, and Campbell keeps it, and the Warriors throw him for a loss all the way back to the 11-yard line. Over there, amongst others, was Jacob DiCarlo, number 3. Let's give some, it looks like Wilson Banks was there as well. And they do, in fact, mark it at the 12-yard line. So it's back up now. It's third down and about 13 at the 12-yard line. They need to get out to the 25.
Hey, fullback's right, 65 trap. Let's go.
Clock moving. You might be able to hear Coach Smith yell in the play to Campbell. And now Hampton's going to use their third and final timeout of the first half.
Somebody got to pay attention. Got to get somebody down here. I can't find the day. Coach, I asked you to have the ends for me. Here, we got all these guys down there. The white ends on a split end down here with me here. Joe.
Just going to let you kind of listen in.
We got to get some split on that drop.
Yeah.
Put the foot on the drop. You got to go.
Good shot of the huddle. We need to get everybody on the same page. Mike is saying, listen, we need somebody down here so I can send them in with the play. We don't have any more timeouts, and we don't need a 5-yard penalty to delay a game here. They usually have a certain number of players that bring the play in and out, so they need to be next to the coach.
Hey, listen to me.
So you can hear some of the comments, but as you now are looking across the field, of course, that is the Kecoughtan huddle. Now we're back onto the Hampton coaches. But they have used all 3 timeouts here, and we still have 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Third and long for Hampton. Hampton, our regular season finale is next Friday night. Hampton and Phoebus right here, 7:30 game time. Make plans to be out here. I've looked at the extended forecast. Dry, cool, crisp, perfect night. Get the family out here. Campbell in trouble.
Oh, what a nice move.
He's still running, but finally down at the 10-yard line. Another loss of almost 3.
That was big number 75 again, Tank Davis making the tackle.
So let's see where they mark it, right at the 10-yard line. So that'll be 4th down and 15. Watch your replay. Nice job to get away from one would-be tackler, but not enough of them. And now Campbell will stand at the goal line.
Kecoughtan brought everybody that time.
Campbell, the punter, actually standing now in the end zone. So this, barring some oddity, could give Kecoughtan real good field position. Line drive, end-over-end kick, and it bounces. And unfortunately for the Warriors, they didn't field it in the air.
Yeah, but they still come out great field position.
Yeah, and that was a good kick by Campbell, although had it been, had Green come up to the ball and taken it in the air, he might have been able to get some good return yardage. But wanted to be on the cautious side. 43-yard kick, no return. So Campbell did his job. And now the Warriors will have it again at the 47-yard line. Good field position. 1:43 left here in the first quarter. This game videotaped on the 20th of October, the year 2000. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and the 46 crew bringing you the game. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Been a defensive struggle to this point.
Oh, I tell you, that time young Justin Green, Tim, got by one tackler, would-be tackler, and then boom, ran into Jimmy Williams, number 5, just flattened him.
And I said defensive struggle. The first possession of the Crabbers, they got it on the attempted onside kick. If you joined us late, they started in Kecoughtan territory and just marched down the field to score the touchdown. But the last couple of possessions for each team, it's been the defense. Thompson on the pitch, gets to Green, and Green picks up a couple of yards, but not much, as he is out to the 48-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd and long again. If you keep putting your team in 3rd and long, you're going to be having a long night.
You really are, Tim. And I noticed last time when they 3rd and long, they went with the pass to Player, but Player was pretty well covered. Had he caught the ball, he would not have gotten the first down. He still was about 3 yards short. You need your receiver to go down. If he's going to catch it, at least get the first down.
On the draw play, Green tripped up. That looked like it might get some yardage, but it looked like reaching in and getting a hand on him was again number 61, Chris Green of Hampton, and tripped him up right at midfield. So again, Jason Broski will be called upon to kick. Watch the replay. Right there, you see, just got a hand on him, although the Crabber secondary was closing in. The Green tripped up by his like name, Chris Green. So now Broski on to kick as they count noses and find they need one more player. And now we've got a whistle and
quarter
timeout. End of the quarter. Well, that was so rapid a first quarter, I didn't even realize the quarter was over. So we have played 12 here at Darling Stadium, and after one, it's Hampton 7 and Kecoughtan nothing. Don't forget now, Zooms with 6 convenient Peninsula locations. They've got 5 of them all over Hampton, and then they got one up by my house. Now, since I've been trying to watch my weight, I don't know.
Their profits are really down.
They've laid off a couple of people. They had to, the pizza guy, his family's suffering. So I'm going to have to figure out some way to go by there and have a nice light salad or something. But they're dying up there in Newport News. They said, man, we thought we moved up here because you were here.
We come up here because this is where the money was, right? And all of a sudden you stop bringing the money. You ought to just stop by and get part of your paycheck anyway.
Well, I still buy my gasoline for the car there, so that's good. That premium Citgo gasoline. The punt. Broski gets it away. Fenner has it, fumbled it, picked it back up, and got about a yard on the return. Not an interesting play.
Well, it was not a good center. Broski had to really jump to get a hold of the ball and kind of hurt his punt a little bit. See, there you just see him coming down.
He just got it away, the left-footed kicker. So Hampton now a little better position on this exchange of punts as they'll start from the 28-yard line.
Well, that's the pressure that'll do that, because pressure will sometimes cause the center to hurry his hike of the ball, and so it's not always on the kicker that the pressure is going on.
Jones and Smith in the backfield. Campbell wants to pass, has some time, now gets rushed and got grabbed just as he threw the ball. Good defensive play by the Warriors to rush him and cause him to throw the ball errantly.
That looked like Wilson Banks. Well, is that J.R. Banks? Yeah, that's J.R., isn't it?
You're going to make
I won't get that guy.
Guys.
Number 9, J.R. Banks.
Yeah, that's his name, by golly. No gain on the play. Jimmy Williams will bring the play in from the sidelines. And coming out of the game for Hampton on that exchange will be Gregory Taylor, number 80. Fenner to the near side, double wides to the right side. That's Williams over there on the far side. Smith and Jones in the backfield. And now we've got a penalty flag. Looks like they might have taken too much time. Yeah, that's the young man we had seen shaken up earlier. That's Alvin Banks, and his left foot propped up there with ice on it, so that's not a good-looking sign for his return tonight.
Well, he evidently twisted it when we saw him. His leg looked very awkward.
2nd down and 15 after the delay of game, and Campbell, ball comes loose. And I believe Hampton still has it. I haven't seen a sign otherwise, but Campbell went down awkwardly at the 19-yard line.
That was number 40 was in there, Jamar Sumter, who got the start tonight at tackle.
There you see some of the crowd here at Hampton tonight. It's the Hampton side, I should say. Watch your replay here. Campbell had a lot of time, and then all of a sudden he couldn't find anybody, and the protection broke down, and he had to eat the ball. Lost back to the 19-yard line. So now it's 3rd down and 18 after the sack. Defense for Kecoughtan doing a real fine job here ever since that first possession. The quick hitter, and that is Darylin Fenner, number 44, one of the many running backs.
And that's Turtle.
Turtle Fenner.
Talked to his daddy tonight, and he says, "Let me tell you why we call him Turtle." He said when he was little, when he growing up, he was real slow and he'd look down at the ground when he walked, so they started calling him Turtle. Well, I said, well, he's not slow anymore. Got a punting formation with Campbell deep.
High end over end kick again with the wind, but that one took a Kecoughtan bounce back towards midfield and was downed by Fenner. And the Warriors will start with the ball just across their 45. So again, field position becoming an issue here, but so far neither team, with the exception of the opening drive, have been able to sustain a drive here. They just can't seem to get untracked.
They just don't seem to be smooth.
Well, the defenses are stepping up. Both sides are playing good defense.
Oh, the defense has just shut down. Kecoughtan have not picked up many yards at all. I don't know what their total is, but no first downs yet.
And Atai, the left side.
That's 25. First time we've seen him tonight.
Yeah, that's Alan Backus, a sophomore. And I have not called his name. And in fact, in the games we've done with Kecoughtan, this will be our final game of Kecoughtan. I don't think I've called his name before. So just a sophomore in there.
18 yards running.
18 yards. You may have been able to hear Bob.
I heard him.
Double wides to the near side. Gained about 4 on that last play. And now we've got Kecoughtan is calling a timeout. So you're right, Bob. The flow, the continuity of the game is just not there. Hampton's used all 3 of their timeouts, and now the Warriors are forced to use one with 9:46 left in the half. You joined us late. Hampton took the opening kickoff, 48 yards. Carlos Campbell, the last 9 yards for the touchdown.
I tell you, when the coaches get upset, they'll tell them and say, okay, I'm going to juggle a lineup and we'll make wholesale changes. I'm going to try to light a fire under you, put fire in your belly, fire you up, because those other guys won't roll over. They just won't lay down. They can flat out play. They're on fire. They're peaking at the right time. They got ice water in their veins. My hat's off to them. You got to hand it to them. They're thriving the clutch. They feed off of pressure. They own us. They're hungry. They'll take you to school. We'll eat your lunch. They'll make you pay. I'd pay to see them play.
I think
even though they put their pants on one leg at a time.
I think what's happening, Mom? I think you and I have used all those cliches at some point in time over the last 20 years.
But not that good.
Hopefully not in the one single sentence either. Offense for the Warriors, 18 yards on 9 carriers. Hampton, 54 yards on 14 carries. So neither team able to sustain much here. And again, into the middle of the pack, not much happening there. That time the ball carrier was Manny Anderson.
Lawrence Callis was one of the first tacklers, slowed the ball carrier down, and then the rest of the Crabbers they're plugging up the middle, and just no place for them to run up the middle on the Crabbers. And when they try to go outside, the Crabbers are very good at stringing it out and making you go wide, making you go east and west instead of north and south.
Tonight, by the way, is homecoming for Hampton. You check with Scotty about our coverage on the halftime ceremonies. Thompson keeping, does not get enough for the first down. Well short, as a matter of fact, by a good 2, maybe 3 yards. Needs to get to the 45.
But I tell you, Kecoughtan with a good punter that they have in Broski, you know, he can put them, keep them deep in their own end of the field.
Well, Broski will be plenty warm here, as this is either his 3rd or 4th punt. This one into the wind, takes a Kecoughtan bounce, and it is touched at about the 16 or 17 yard line, where Hampton will have it.
But again, inside the 20.
Yep.
You know, that's he's got 3 punts now that's gone inside the 20. One out where it was about the 10-yard line. So
8:27 remains in the first half, and Hampton will have it again, leading 7-0.
There we go.
Hampton, of course, playing Phoebus here next week. Kecoughtan's opponent will be Menchville. Carlos Campbell. Warriors show blitz, and they come.
They just break it. They're coming. They almost put an 8- and 9-man line up there.
That was Saliki Pendleton making the stop.
Saliki, player of the game last week, I believe it was. Well, last time we did one of the games.
Watch the, saw the blitz left side there. That was actually not the man who made the tackle, but enough apparently to disrupt the play. You could probably hear the play being given to Carlos Campbell as he comes to the near sideline. Now rejoins the huddle. Obviously, all the plays are called on the sideline by Hampton coaches. 7:45 to go in the half. 2nd down and 9. And Joe Smith. Nothing.
Nowhere.
Nowhere is right, as the Warriors' left side of their defensive line was ready and waiting.
And that was led by Banks. J.R. Banks was the one of the leading. Watch this. Right there, Banks hit him right first, and Tank got him at the bottom.
But is Wilson Banks really J.R. Banks?
J.R. Banks.
Okay.
I ran into him over at Kecoughtan one day. I was walking out of school, and he come over and he said, "I appreciate you calling me J.R." I like that a lot better. I said, "Hey, you got it."
3rd and 10 for Hampton. Campbell back to pass, has time, got a man wide open over the middle. This is Fenner. Derek Fenner has the first down at about the 38-yard line, 37, 38-yard line, but that will be enough to move the chains.
Now, see, if Hampton passes the ball a few times and loosens that defense up as you watch on this play, and he got some pressure right here from Banks. Nice job of covering up the ball after he caught it, Derek Fenner.
So a fresh set of downs with 6:40 remaining in the half. Hampton from their 28-yard line. This is Campbell, and Campbell is taken down after a gain out to about the 34-yard line. Again, right there is Saliki Pendleton to grab Campbell.
But that time what Campbell did, Tim, was fake the ball to the fullback and then just follow him into the hole and use him as an extra blocker.
They'll mark it at the 34. He picked up 6, and that makes it 2nd down and 4 as we hit the 6-minute mark in the first half, halfway through the second quarter. Williams and Fenner to the wide right in the I formation. This is Joe Smith, and Smith is out of bounds, but not until he gets to midfield, and that will be another first down.
Got a great block as he made the turn that time. I didn't pick up the number, but what a nice move. Get outside, and had he not stepped outside out of bounds, Tim, he could have gone all the way. Watch the replay. Watch the block. Oh, he just missed it.
First down at midfield for the Crabbers. 4th first down of the first half. Campbell, again, that same play where he fakes the handoff, but
he didn't fool.
No, Jacob
DeMar
DiCarlo.
Sumter and DiCarlo.
Yeah, Sumter and DiCarlo were right there as he got maybe a half a yard. Well, I'll give him nice progress to the 49.
Give him a yard, yeah.
So he'll be in Kecoughtan territory at the 49. And that'll make it 2nd down and 9. Rapidly moving first half. We're down to 5:20. Close ball game. A lot of people thought this would not be this close. 7-0 is all we've got right now. Kecoughtan defense has been doing a good job. Looking pass.
Nice
completed.
catch. Woo!
That is to the wideout Edward check that. I'm sorry, wrong number 80. That would be Greg Taylor.
Nice job, Tim. He caught the ball and was clotheslined. And
Watch
it was a
your
nice
replay.
fake.
And he was taken down immediately, but not until he picked up another first down at the 40.
And it was Travis Richmond on the defensive side of the ball that time. And he was going up, and he said he could make sure if you caught the ball, you weren't going anywhere after you caught it.
So Hampton picking up 10 yards at a whack. This is Smith, and Smith surges forward, broke a tackle all the way down to the 24-yard line. Another first down, a gain of about 15, almost 16 yards.
Tim, I don't know that there was a hole there when he got there, and he hit and kept his feet moving and just squirted through. Watch this, right there.
Right
just
there.
squirted right
Yep.
in, right out of the grass.
Oh,
but
nice job. Good running. He got his head down and his
Yep.
body forward and just drove through the line.
Joe Smith, great job.
All right, Joe Smith picks up 16, and he's got a first down at the 24-yard line. So the Crabbers on the move again. This is Mac Jones. Mac Truck Jones hits the 21-yard line. Big Mac. Got lots of names for Mac.
Yeah, we do that.
And so the Crabbers now just grinding it out, basically right up the middle.
Well, what's helped their running game a little bit is a couple of passes that were successful.
Yep, you've got to do that. You've got to pass to set up your running game and vice versa.
Well, and Kecoughtan is bringing, they're running 6 men on the line of scrimmage, Tim, and then they're bringing up their linebackers so that you got 8 men. So you start bringing them up close, and there's no place to run.
Quick pass to Fenner in the flat. Little screen pass to about the 16-yard line. Let's see where they give us forward progress. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Joe Smith, number 11, went sprinting out there and made a great block.
Fenner gets to the 16-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and about, well, let's say long 2, almost 3.
Roshan Tate, number 88, first time I've seen him first time I've called his numbers in there at tight end.
3rd down and a long deuce. 2:50 left in the half. Clock moving. This is Jones.
So if you want 2, who do you give it to? You big guy.
Well, let's see. They mark his forward progress at about the 12 or 13, which should be enough for the first down. Close to it, but it looks like, well, they're going to have it
Eagle
close
eye
enough.
time.
Yep, have it close enough to bring out the chains. I can't see the ball, or got a bad angle here, Bob, but I'm gonna say they got the first down by about a yard.
Bad angle, and you're right on it.
First down by a yard. If I can't do anything else, at least I can nail those.
At least you can see.
I can see. That's right. Hey, you can't keep guessing these things, Scotty. These take skill.
Hey, Scotty, this guy's got some skill here.
That's why I gotta have something going here. All right, the Crabbers 1st and 10 at the Kecoughtan 13-yard line. Nice drive going for the Crabbers. Fenner now sets up on the right side. Right into the middle. Mac Jones for a couple. Giving progress to about the 11.
Larry French, big kid, Tim. Larry French, 6'3", 278. He probably a little more than 278 now.
Check with our director to see, will we have coverage of the halftime ceremonies, Mr. Director?
Probably not for the crowning of the king and queen. There's not much marching and going around, is there?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry about that. Campbell in the backfield. Got away. And he is down inside the 5 to the 3.
What a nice move. Tim, he was tackled and in and out of the grasp I don't know how many times. In fact, if that would have been NFL, they might have said he was in the grasp.
Well, that's Carlos Campbell at his best. That's what he does really well, is to get away from would-be tacklers, and he almost broke that one all the way.
Well, we're going to – I didn't get a chance.
They got it again. They got this one by about a foot. And they got it by the length
Oh,
of
it
the
was
football.
about 6 inches, Tim.
Okay, yeah.
You missed it.
Bad angle again, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but the last time you didn't use the angle as an excuse when you were right on the money.
First and goal for
there's a
Hampton.
good shot of Matthew Mitchell.
First and goal. Campbell keeps it. They surge forward. No signal yet. And I think they're going to say he's at the 1 yard line. So that was just looked like, all right, everybody just surge forward. I'll follow the front line. Second and goal at the 1. A time-consuming drive. We're down to 1 minute remaining in the half. Hampton has no timeouts left. Leading 7-0. And this is a touchdown. Big Mac over the left side.
Mac Jones.
So a 1 yard run by Big Mac Jones with 48 seconds remaining to the half. And here's your replay. Just a power surge left side.
Aaron Whitehead.
Whitehead will be on to try the extra point. His kick is long enough, and it is good. So the Crabbers, on a well-designed, just a time-consuming, in-your-face drive, just brought it up the field.
How many yards was that, Tim? They started about the 16, 17?
We'll check with Bob and see if he has where they started, what the starting line was for that. But
I think it was about the 17.
How long drive was that, Bob? You know, where'd they start that drive? All right, so you were right. You got good memory. 17-yard line was the starting point for that. So let's see, carrier 1 divided by 2. That's 83.
83 yards. Nice drive.
Well, they just went right up the field, and they really looked in sync on that.
Well, they didn't until they got the first pass that he threw to Fenner.
Right.
And then after that, it looked like, okay, when they got a little confidence, and you're right. Then they just marched right down the field. Looked real good.
All right, we are set to go. Campbell, he plays quarterback. He plays safety. He punts. He kicks off. Cleans the bus after the trip. He does it all. 15-yard line. Green, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 29-yard line. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of our first half after this brief timeout. Well, as we come back from our timeout, a timeout is taken by the Warriors. So I know that was not something they wanted to have happen here with just 41 seconds remaining. They had 2 timeouts. Now they only have 1. I'm sure Coach Coles would like to have that timeout back.
Yeah, because you should have been ready for the play you wanted and everything. So, this is, again, everybody being on the same page as Roscoe was talking.
10%, and leaving everything.
Hey, let me tell you what my coach used to tell me. I heard they talk about you. He says, although some of you couldn't play dead, you couldn't even play radio. You couldn't hit sand if you fell off a camel. We've been there before. We match up well. We know how to win. We're not just happy to be here. Our goal is the championship. Defense wins the games. We're in here to win it all, and we're all in here together. And there's no I in team. So let's get out there and have some fun. Let's dance with the one that brung us.
All right. Thank goodness play is back. Thompson throwing downfield, incomplete, out of bounds, as the intended receiver on the play, Justin Green.
he said, and if the ball bounces our way, we'll control our own destiny. That's what it's all about.
Clichéville.
Yeah, love it.
Clock stopping with 3:06 on the board, 36 seconds. Out of the shotgun. Thompson's got trip receivers to the near side. Now Thompson will just keep it himself and is across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Short of the first down. It'll be third down and a couple.
And the clock still runs.
Yep, they just have the one timeout, do the Warriors. And, of course, Hampton, we mentioned, had used all theirs. Trips to the left. No flags down, so they got it away cleanly. Thompson wants to throw it up for grabs, and it is incomplete.
Oh, wow.
Almost caught.
It's almost caught by two different players. I'm not sure which one's coming down with. But nice throw by Thompson.
Joe Smith defending, and Joseph Blair, excuse me, on the almost the receiving end. Watch this.
And
both of them had a shot.
Yeah,
out.
it looked like Smith got his hands on it first, but then Blair said, hey, wait a minute. That's supposed to be my ball.
All right, one last play here, 4th down and 2, so the Warriors will hopefully use all 5 seconds, and they will. Thompson will run with the ball, has some running room, cross midfield, 40, 35, and finally taken down at the 35-yard line as time expires here in the first half. So the Warriors get some yardage before halftime, but otherwise they've been pretty much unable to move the ball against the Hampton defense. And our score at halftime is Hampton 14 and Kecoughtan nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. Back here at Darling Stadium, our score at halftime, the Crabbers 14, the Warriors nothing. For Kecoughtan in the first half, they rushed the ball 13 times for 57 yards. Justin Green was the leader with 7 carries for 43. In the passing department, Thompson did not connect on 3 attempts. The Warriors got just 1 first down. In fact, that first down occurred at the end of the first half. They did not fumble the ball, and they were not penalized. Their total yardage in the first half, just 57 yards. For the Crabbers, they rushed the ball twice as many times, 26 to be exact, 112 yards, with Carlos Campbell being the leader, carrying the ball 12 times for 42. He also completed 3 of 4 passes for a total of 26 yards, as the Crabbers had 8 first downs. They fumbled the ball 3 times, did not lose any of those, and they were penalized for just 5 yards on 1 penalty. Basically a penalty-free first half, just 1 penalty called, and a total of 154 yards total offense for Hampton in the first half.
Well, they didn't really get on track until that 83-yard drive, Tim, and it opened it up really when Derek Fenner caught the first of Carlos Campbell's passes, and just seemed to open up the defense a little bit, or make the defense to Kecoughtan move back a little bit, because they had 8 men on the line of scrimmage, and it's hard to run if there's no opening. So
it was almost forgotten that Hampton took the opening kickoff and went 48 yards. They really didn't have any trouble scoring, and it looked for the world, quite frankly, that they were just going to be able to move the ball at will.
Well, and Kecoughtan took a gamble with that onside kick and touched it prematurely of it getting across 10 yards. So you're right. Now the Warriors will have the ball to start the second half.
They will be going against the wind, a decent breeze, maybe 20 miles an hour, but nothing of any great concern, I would not think. Carlos Campbell has it teed up, and the kick is away.
Nice
Taken
kick.
at the 10-yard line by Justin Green. 20, 25, still going. Gets into the open 42-yard line, so a real fine return by Justin Green will give Kecoughtan the ball at their own 42-yard line.
Clayso Brown, number 35, showed good speed, Tim, as he caught him from behind, and he's just a sophomore. Watch the replay here, and he drops the ball after he catches it, and sometimes that will allow you to find a zone, and the Crabbers just didn't watch the speed of number 35 catch up with him, but almost broke it.
From their 41-yard line after the 32-yard return, this is Green getting the call, and he spins his way out close to the 45 where it'll be second and 4, excuse me, get it right yet, second and 6 as they started from the 41. The math is starting to fail me here, and then they marked the ball at the 46, so they're messing with me here. He got 5, that makes it second and 5.
Are you sure about that?
Well, they had it marked at the 45, and then they heard me, so they moved it to the 46.
Well, they want to make sure you're right, Tim.
That'll be a first. That's right. That won't come easily. All right, second and 5, fumble, and a good job by Thompson to just fall on the ball. You know, we saw, actually, I think you missed that Tampa Bay game last night, but perfect example. Rondé Barber, grad from University of Virginia, had a chance to pick up a fumble in the end zone for Tampa Bay and was so nonchalant about it. And the ball, because it's not round, bounced away from him, and it ended up just being a safety. And it virtually, in the end, could have been the difference in the game. But
yeah, you got to go to, and that was a good job that time by Thompson. As you said,
get on the ball.
Hey, get on the ball.
Don't try and pick it up and run with it. Just cover it. This is Thompson. Thompson, 45, and he is stopped with a very sure tackle by number 33, Mac Jones.
And he was assisted by big number 77, Leonard Johnson.
And we've got a player shaken up. Got a Kecoughtan Warrior writhing on the ground. Let's see if we can see what happened.
Is that the quarterback?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I mean to tell you, big 77 just came in and boom.
Maybe that is. I can't see. It might be the quarterback. I haven't.
I think it is because it looks like coming out is Matt Cross, number 11, who is the backup quarterback. Matt is just a sophomore, Tim, has played some this year, but young man's got some potential.
It is, in fact, Thompson.
Yeah, I thought it might be because he really got hit, but that's a 4th down, Tim, so they'll bring in Broski and will be punting. But if you look at where that ball is, had he not lost that 5 yards on that fumble, he would have probably picked up the 1st down, and that's what they were looking for. But
and real good news for Kecoughtan as Thompson is up. He must have had the wind knocked out of him. He appears to be okay, and that's real good news for the Warriors. But they will have to punt as it's 4th down and about 3. So Broski, standing at his 35, gets the kick away. Low kick, and it's fielded by Joe Smith on the line drive, and that's the danger of that low line drive kick. That's Broski's worst punt of the night. Yeah, Broski had to make the tackle because he just hit about a 20-yard line drive right to Smith.
Never got it up in the air.
Line of scrimmage he kicked it from the 39, and it was taken at the 34.
Two Warriors went right on by him.
Yep.
Joe Smith, great job that time. Heads up.
42-yard line is where Hampton will have it, leading 14-0. Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and the Channel 46 crew. Hope you're enjoying this, our 9th game of the regular season. Next Friday night, we'll close out the regular season with these same Hampton Crabbers, and they'll be taking on the Phantoms in a very important ball game. Penalty flag on the play. Looks like the Crabbers might have taken too much time.
Yep.
Delay of the game.
Well, you heard Bill Dozier tell you, delay of the game, so that'll back them up 5.
It's only the 3rd penalty.
Just the 3rd penalty of the ball game. 47-yard line is the spot now. Campbell play action. Has a man wide open over the middle, Jimmy Williams, but instead he goes for Fenner, and it is almost intercepted.
He had already picked out who he was going to throw to, Tim, but you made a good point. I was watching Jimmy Williams, number 5, wide open going across the middle because everybody was looking for Fenner.
Travis Richmond was the defender who almost picked it off. Watch this now. Campbell with lots of time, and he just throws it down to the man who was actually covered better than Williams, who was open over the middle. But to his defense, you don't have a lot of time.
No.
You pick out your receiver.
Well, you got your primary receiver on that, and that's where he's going for it. But that sometimes, the number 5 will go back in the huddle and say, I was wide open on that play. So
well, that might be
keep me in mind.
Absolutely. Handoff to Smith, and Joe Smith is to the 41-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. It'll be 3rd down and about 9. Need to get to the Kecoughtan 32-yard line to pick up the first. They mark it right at the 40. So it's 3rd down and 8. As again, the players shuffle in and out of the Hampton lineup, bringing the plays in. Backfield consists of Darylyn Fenner along with Joe Smith. Campbell is the quarterback. Campbell again has all kinds of time.
Good protection.
Got Williams open, and it's knocked away on a good defensive play at the last second. And that was number 10, Joseph Player, who broke up what would have been a touchdown.
It really was, because Jimmy was behind. It was a good pass. Great protection, as you see here.
And just got a hand on it before Williams would have caught it.
Now we got punt formation, but with the quarterback back as the punter,
yeah, you never know.
All kinds of things can happen.
4th and 8. Campbell standing back at his 45-yard line. Low snap, but very little rush. And not a particularly good kick, although it takes a Hampton bounce. And a real good roll down to about the 12-yard line. So got about an extra 10 or 12 yards on the roll. And the Warriors will start with poor field position from their 12. They'll mark it at the Kecoughtan 13-yard line. 9 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Hampton 14, Kecoughtan nothing. Game videotaped on the 20th of October, 2000.
Just a perfect night for football.
Oh, it's just been gorgeous. We've had great weather this regular season. I don't think we've had one game that really had any appreciable weather conditions. Warriors stay on the ground with no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Number 12 that time for the Crabbers, Nolan Cutler. I met the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage.
Thompson, who was shaken up earlier, is the quarterback. Drop back pass, and just a bad pass as his intended receiver, Joseph Player, had turned and was ready for the pass, but the pass not even close to him.
Well,
so
Player, in all fairness to Thompson, Player stopped and went back, and he really threw it to where he had stopped. And,
it looked like he hooked back instead of going down.
Miscommunications, not on the same page, and this was one of the things that Coach Coles was talking about, Tim.
One of your many cliches, not on the same page. 3rd down and 10. 8:23 to go. Clock stopped on that incomplete pass. This is Justin Green, and he just picks up a couple of yards to the 15. So Jason Broski, who's had plenty of airtime tonight, will be back in deep punt formation, and this should give the Crabbers pretty good field position.
Tim, I do want to remind the fans that we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., and the shirt comes from Islanders Sporting Goods.
Broski standing back at the 5. Crabbers almost got to the ball. Good-looking punt fielded. No, it takes a bounce as Campbell now picks it up at the 36-yard line, down the near sideline, and he is across midfield before he goes out of bounds, right at about the 49 and a half. So the Crabbers will start inside Kecoughtan territory. That was a pretty good return on that punt.
It really was a great kick.
Yeah.
He tried to come up and get it, but it just died on him right there, and it's a smart move not to try to catch it when he wasn't sure he could get his hands on it, and there was just no blocking there. You know, the return may have been to the other side of the field, but did a good job of picking up some good positive yards.
49-yard line is where the Crabbers start. Joe Smith, and Smith up the middle. And he is still on his feet all the way to the 31-yard line, 30-yard line, and they'll give him 20 on the play. Smith showing great acceleration right up the middle.
A little adjustment sometimes that the coaches make. Watch the replay. Maybe they'll change the blocking assignment a little bit. But man, what a nice hole and crease he found, and sprinted right through the Crabber defense. The Warrior defense.
Almost 20 yards on the play. This is Smith again, and he picks up about 4.5, almost to the 25-yard line. So give him almost 5 on the play.
Manny Anderson had him around the ankles, but he still picked up 5.
So Smith, consecutive plays.
Well, you can see the difference in the blocking and the line play here. The Crabbers, the first offensive possession in the second half, Tim, and they're starting to control that line of scrimmage a little bit.
Warriors bring the blitz. Smith went right to the hole where the blitz was and gets maybe a yard.
That's what they did the first half, and then the big 79 in on tackle. But anyway,
let's give him a name. That's John McDonald.
John McDonald, Big Mac. But anyway, the first half, it took a couple passes to loosen up that defense a little bit, and that's what happens when you blitz.
Ball is just inside the Kecoughtan 25. It's 3rd down and a long 4. High backfield. Play action. Campbell will keep it, and he is short of the first down on a very nice open field tackle by Manny Anderson. So that'll bring up 4th down and about 2. Need to cross the 20, and I would suspect that the Crabbers will go for it. Joe Smith from the sideline will bring the play in. Clock moving, 5:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. No scoring in the second half so far. Crabbers 4th and 2. Smith, and Smith has the first down across the 20 to the 18.
And that he was met at the line of scrimmage, but the offensive line kept their blocks and surged, and he just kept his feet moving and picked up the yard. He's picked up about 4.
Here's your replay. He just kept moving those legs and got the first down at the 18-yard line. Less than 5 minutes on the clock in the 3rd. Again, Campbell gives to Smith. If it's working, why get away from it?
Yeah, and that time the Warriors brought the blitz again, but to the wrong side of the ball. They were coming up on the left side, and the play was called over. I'm sorry, they were coming up on the right side of the Crabber offense, and they went to the left side and picked up positive yardage.
Almost 4. Let's call it 2nd down and 6. Hampton sticking to the fundamentals, just running the ball right down the middle. And they stick to the ground. Darylin Fenner was smacked as he got to the line of scrimmage and got about a yard, but boy.
Number 9.
Was that 9 again? I mean, we're talking Wilson Banks just popped him.
Whoa.
You can hear that up here.
JR put some pads.
Watch this. I mean, this is mano a mano, gaboom, nowhere. So he got about a half a yard. It brings up 3rd down and long, 3rd down and about 6. Not much on that last play. Smith and Fenner behind Campbell this time. On the option, the pitch to Smith. He's got the corner, 10, 5.
And he can get in.
And he is in. Touchdown. 14 yards out.
Great speed. Impressive speed.
3 running touchdowns for the Crabbers tonight. 3 different players, Campbell from 9, Jones from 1, and now Joe Smith, who earned that shot
Yes,
because he did the bulk of the ball carrying on that drive, and they went 49 yards and capped off by a 14-yard run by Joe Smith. Aaron Whitehead will try to make it 21, and his kick is up, and it is good. So with 3:28 remaining in the third, here's the replay of the touchdown.
And this is just no more than the triple option. And you give it to your speedster, and he gets outside and just gets inside that pylon.
Smith, a good-sized back, 6'1", 190. He's got good quickness, good power. I'm telling you, this young man is right now getting the job done. 21-0 Hampton. You know, the Hampton defense, we talk about the offense and the defense over the years, but the Hampton defense now has shut out Kempsville, Denby, Bethel, trying to make the Bruins into Buffalo, Menchville. So there's 5 of the shutouts. Smith, by the way, in the game, 12 carries for 85 yards. The Hampton defense now in 3 consecutive games coming into this game had allowed some points, which was unusual for them to do. And the kick by Campbell is a short one taken at the 22-yard line. And the return out to the 28. That was Manny Anderson returning it.
Just, you know, that's when the return is called to the left side, and there was just no way you could get to the left side. And he come over here, and there was just nowhere for him to go.
So the Warriors will start just across their 28. Their offense just has not been able to get untracked. Their best offense was the play that ended the first half. 27-yard run by Thompson.
Well, it's they put the 3 wide receivers and spread out the Hampton defense, and the athleticism of Terrence Thomas allowed him to pick up some positive yards.
Justin Green got the carry. He picked up 3. Saw some of the defenders there. Big 70 for Hampton. Stephen Williams, 6'2", 320.
He's not missed many meals.
He's a load. Yeah, we got a couple of hosses out there. Talking about boys that don't miss a lot of meals. That's Harold Mitchell, number 71.
He's 6'5", 350.
My goodness. I'd like to have the feed bill for those 2 guys.
No, thank you. Well, I tell you what, they could keep Zooms in business, couldn't they?
Yes, sir. Keep their parents in bankruptcy and Zooms in business. 3rd down and 5 for the Warriors. Need to get a sustained drive here to make this a ball game. Thompson looks like he's in trouble. I don't know whether they're trying to set up a middle screen. Now he's going to run, and the ball comes loose. And they say Hampton has got it. They do at the 30-yard line.
Who came up with the ball? Did you see?
I believe it was number 60 for the Crabbers. Let's see, Stephen Lee. Let's see if that's who it was.
The ball came out before he drowned.
I can't make out the number
No,
from
I can't
that
either.
shot, but in any event, glad to see Stephen Lee back out there
Yeah.
for the Crabbers too. First turnover of the ball game, and the Crabbers now have it back, leading 21-0, and they have it at the Kecoughtan 30. Again, Smith, Joe Smith, a flag goes down, and Smith still going. Penalty flag down at about the line of scrimmage. Let's see how this one is called.
Maybe holding. Let's see what he calls. Yep.
72, Mike.
So that'll cost the Crabbers.
Against the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So the holding penalty against the Crabbers backs them up to the 39-yard line. Clock moving with 1:50 left in the third. Hampton led 14-0 at half and have added a touchdown to make it 21. Campbell rolling to the near side. Wants to go downfield. Had Fenner open but couldn't get the ball to him, and now he goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line, which was the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there was an open receiver, but Tim, again, he's running to his left. The receiver was over on the right side. I mean, he'd have really had to turn his body to get anything on that ball, and I think he probably made the smart decision that time.
Would have been a nearly impossible pass to throw. Darling Stadium, this brand new field, or at least new at the beginning of the season, starting to show a little bit of wear, but my gosh, this thing has just been fantastic this year. Just a great job by Larry Malloy and the guys here at Darling. 2nd down and 10, so they got back to 10 they got on the holding call. Campbell throws
pass,
nice.
That's Jimmy Williams. I mean, he went right to the zone that was, I mean, it was open in that zone and just sat down, great pass, made sure he took it in.
Carlos Campbell just threw a strike. Watch this replay now. You're going to see Campbell. Campbell's going to take a pretty good hit as he releases the ball. Good, clean hit coming right up the middle, but he got it right in the hand. I mean, he put it between the numbers if there were 2 numbers on his
he
jersey.
put it right on the number,
there
didn't he? Is this a cliche?
There you go. 13-yard line, 1st down. Hampton driving again. Who do you give it to? Joe Smith, touchdown. So it's 13 yards this time. Smith is becoming the runner of choice here in the second half.
But he looks good.
59 seconds left on the clock as Hampton now makes it 27-0, and they'll try and make it 28. Kecoughtan defense just been on the field much too long. The offense hasn't given them a breather. Whitehead's kick is up. It's long enough, and it's good. So he's perfect tonight. Aaron Whitehead has converted on 4 PATs. And this is your replay. Smith just found a big hole and ran right up the middle, running to daylight.
Yes, he did.
So 14 on the previous touchdown, 13 on this one. And the Crabbers now leading 28-0. Your prediction's looking pretty good. All right, we're going to have our weekly 3rd quarter cheerleader cheer. We're going to feature the Hampton cheerleaders during a routine for us at the break. As you look up into the stands, that's ESPN Ron Baton on the camera, showing you some of the fine-looking folks in the stands tonight.
One young lady saw me outside and says, you do the television. I said, yeah. She said, I want to get on TV. I said, get in the stands.
Well, a young guy came up to me and says, are you Bob? I said, no.
Yes.
I said, no.
Wait a minute, do I owe you money?
I said, no, I'm the other one. And he says, can I get your autograph? And I said, why would you want my autograph? He said, well, got to be worth something. I said, yeah, if you had $1, you could use my autograph and get a cup of coffee somewhere. He's funny. Green will field it again at the 10. Fake the reverse, and the Crabbers were not fooled at all as he gets just 4 yards on the return to the 14. So the Warriors, they might mark it as close to the 15. And that's where Kecoughtan will have it once again. Now down 28-0. Less than a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Crabbers has had 2 possessions in the second half, Tim, and scored on both of them. Look a lot sharper than they did that first half.
Got a new quarterback in there, Cross.
Matt
Cross, and he loses a yard. Thompson not hurt, but apparently Coach Coles just decided he's got to make some change here to see what he can do, maybe generate a little offense.
Give me a cliche.
Generate a little offense. The Cross has been given 110% during the week and earned a spot. Earned a shot.
You earned a shot.
Matt Cross, just a sophomore. And he throws a lateral that goes out of bounds. And you might have been able, or at least I could see the line judge on the far side pointing back towards the end zone to indicate that that was not a forward pass. So that ball is, in fact, the same as a fumble. And the loss on the play back to the 11-yard line. Now I guess they'll mark it closer to the 12. And they'll wake up the stick man over there and have him.
He was kind of sleeping.
He says, what? Move it where?
Am I supposed to move?
No, move it where?
That was an incomplete pass.
Yeah. All right, 3rd down and long. 3rd down at about 12 and a half, almost 13. Cross, same thing. This was again a lateral, and pretty much the same result as the lateral was completed to Joseph Player, but Warriors not going in the right direction.
Well, we have the end of the quarter, don't we?
Yes, we do. So we have played 3 at Darling, and the score after 3 quarters is Hampton 28 and Kecoughtan nothing.
That was the first completion. The first completion. That's also expired.
You're watching the Hampton Crabbers Homecoming on WHCS TV 46.
8.5. That was with the judges in the truck. Please hold up their cards.
Yeah, well, we know one of them got an 8.5.
8.5 from the Russian judge, I think it was.
We can turn Ron's microphone down a little bit now.
What, just because your sinus has been cleared out?
Yeah. There we are. Hey, Mom. Ron.
What's up?
What's up?
All right. Well, we've had fun bringing this regular season to you. Got one more regular season game next Friday night, and boy, is it going to be a good one. Phoebus and Hampton right here at Darling Stadium. Make plans to come out and see it in person. Broski's kick goes out of bounds at the Kecoughtan 36-yard line is where they're marking.
Tim, that went off the side of his foot.
Yeah, not his best effort, but he's been outstanding all year. He's just done a great job kicking for the Warriors. Truly
Probably
has.
getting a little tired.
Yeah, he might be. Boy, what a big sports weekend we've got on top of us. You got the World Series.
Ooh.
You got your UVA football game tomorrow afternoon against Florida State.
We got UNC on ESPN. You got Tech on ESPN, and
Ron Curry and
Michael Vick.
Mr. Danzler from Clemson will square off, and Michael Vick will take on Syracuse. World Series, I'm telling you, look at this. Carlos Campbell, he's got one man to beat. He can't get around him. He's down at the 6-yard line, but not until he gets a 1st and goal. And I got to tell you something. Take nothing away from the Hampton offense, but that defense for the Warriors has just got to be worn out. They've been on the field just way too long.
They
the
really
Warriors
have been.
Offense just has not been able to get them back off the field.
Watch the replay. It's just the quarterback keeper on that option, and there was a lane there, and he just went through it, gets a good block, and then right here he tries to get away from, who was that, number 22? That's Carter Jones.
86 yards on 15 carries for Campbell.
Big Mac.
Big Mac takes it forward to the 3-yard line. Clock moving now with 11:15 to go in the 4th quarter. Hampton leading 28-0, looking to complete their 5th shutout of the season. Should they be able to complete the game without giving up any points? And you know they'll want to keep that shutout going.
Absolutely.
Campbell over center. He's got Jones and Smith. This is Smith, and Smith is tripped up. So the defense, as tired as they are, come up with a couple of big plays to keep the Crabbers out of the end zone, at least temporarily.
Well, that was big number 55 is the one that stopped. That was Corey Davis, Tim. And tell you, it's
Saliki Pendleton also in on the stop.
Davis hit him low.
3rd and goal at the 2. Who did he give it to, Smith or Jones? I mean, yeah, Smith or Jones? Smith and Jones.
That was a TV show,
wasn't it? Oh, Campbell just stopped dead. What a nice tackle by the nose. I think that's the nose guard, number 75, Terrence Davis. Tank Davis just grabbed Campbell as soon as he got the snap from center and forced his knee down. Watch the replay here. See if you can pick this up. Look at it. He just dove in there and made Campbell go to a knee, which killed the play. So before they could even get started,
it was dead.
He was dead.
Well, this is a 4th down, Tim, and
Smith, by the way, 14 carries, 100 yards in the game, and 2 touchdowns. This is 4th and goal. Campbell on the option, and Campbell is in the end zone.
Well, he did a great fake. Everybody thought he was going to pitch it. Did a great job of faking the pitch.
So from the 3-yard line, Campbell makes it 34-0. Campbell, his 2nd touchdown of the night. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So we have 9:29 remaining in the ball game, and the Crabbers now 35-0. Campbell with a couple of touchdowns, Smith with a couple, and Jones
watch
with
his
the 5th.
fake, Tim.
But you have to honor the fake.
Yes, you do.
And the guy went for the fake, and that allowed Campbell to cut it inside and score the touchdown, his 2nd of the night. Hampton 35, Kecoughtan nothing. Hampton on their way to next week's game against Phoebus Phantoms. That game will probably decide the fate of one of those 2 teams. So Smith on the game, 14 carries for 100 yards. Campbell's got to be pretty close to 100 yards. So you've got a couple of the Hampton running backs with right at 100 yards or more. 87 to be exact for Campbell. So Whitehead will kick off. Taken at the 15-yard line. Oh, right up the middle, look out! All the way into Hampton territory at the 46-yard line. A good head of steam for Manny Anderson.
Great job that time by Derek Fenner, Tim. He was not going to get by Derek Fenner.
Watch this replay. Had one man to get by. Manny just took this right up the middle. I don't know that the pursuit probably would have caught him, but
I don't know. But I tell you, you got to be impressed by Derek Fenner. Did a great job.
Player makes the catch, and technically that's the first forward pass completion. They did have that lateral completion to Player when they were deep in their own territory just before the end of the 3rd quarter. But there was a gain on that play of almost 9 yards. 8.5, almost 9. 2nd down and short out of the shotgun. Player again, and he does have the 1st down across the 35.
Well, it's working.
So Thompson back in at quarterback. And that'll move the chains. Just their 2nd 1st down of the ball game. First one came on the final play of the 1st half. And now there are 8.5 minutes and some change left in the 4th quarter. That ball comes loose. Is it a pass? It's ruled to be a pass.
Yeah.
Kind of a feeble attempt.
Yeah, it was.
It's kind of like, I think I want to pass it, and now I'm glad I did because it was incomplete.
Yeah, Bill Dozier right there. Watch the replay.
Instead of a 10-yard loss, it's an incomplete pass. Now watch this. It just kind of fell out of his hand.
Yeah.
Now, one of the officials threw the beanbag to indicate a change of possession.
No, that's really to mark where the fumble occurred.
Well, okay, fumble or change of possession. The point was it wasn't either of those.
No,
ruled
Bill
by
Dozier says no, it was forward. His hand was going forward like he was passing it. So.
Timeout has been called. 8:34 left in the fourth quarter. And this gives me a chance to remind you that Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten, they're conveniently located at the Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of the new facility, please stop by or call them at 827-4670. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home. Thank Park Lawn and Zooms for being our corporate sponsors tonight. Thompson out of the shotgun. Rush is coming. Thompson unloads, throws it down, and it is off the defender's hands. That is Derek Fenner, and would have been out of bounds in any event. So it goes incomplete as Thompson picks himself up.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was about 4 guys coming down on him when he stepped forward and threw that ball.
Give him credit. He hung in there and knew he was going to take a shot. And watch the replay. As you look at some of the fans huddled up here. You and I are sitting up here with shorts. It's a balmy night up here in the press box.
Yeah, Brent Musgrove stopped by at halftime and he said, I don't know how you guys stand out in shorts. I said, because we're here.
That's right. This is Thompson, and Thompson to the 21-yard line. That'll be a first down. Some of the best offense tonight has been Thompson, the quarterback, keeping it. They'll mark it at the 20. Clock moving with a little more than 8 minutes remaining in the ball game.
They're in the shotgun, which has been good for them.
Well, the same receiver, player, but not much on the play. Maybe a yard to the 19.
Great job. There was that number 32 for the Crabbers, Lawrence Callis. Just a junior playing that outside linebacker, and boom.
Here's your replay. He just was there. He let him catch the ball and then drove him back. 2nd and 9. Thompson has some time. Now steps up. Got away from one tackler. And he is down to about the 12-yard line, short of a first down.
But that might have been I don't know if that was not a called play, a quarterback draw situation.
Mark it at the 12. Again, this proud Hampton defense wants to keep the Warriors out of the end zone, and now Kecoughtan will call another timeout. That'll be their second, and they'll have just one timeout remaining. It comes with 7:09 to go in the fourth quarter. We've got to talk about players of the game, Bob.
Yes, we do.
And who's going to give us those players of the game awards?
Oh, they come from Engraving Inc. will send us a plaque, and Islander Sporting Goods will give a shirt. Well, let's see what we got here. We got a lot of people from Banks and Campbell, and both Williams and Green and Fenner and Smith and Jones for the Crabbers, and Corey Davis, Anderson, Broski, DiCarlo, Tank Davis, J.R. Banks, Sumter, and Green for Kecoughtan. I mean, you got a lot of them.
Well, and what we try and do, for those of you that watch the games regularly, we try to give it to a different player, even though it's difficult. You know, we've talked about it before. It would be real easy in the Curry era to have given it to Curry virtually every game, or in others, you know, that type of thing. So even though occasionally we have the dilemma where a player does have an outstanding game, if he's won the award before, we try to spread it around. As Kecoughtan, Manny Anderson got the pitch and did not get the first down. He is marked at the 11-yard line. They need to get to the 10, so it's going to be fourth down, and for all intents and purposes, there's no reason why the Warriors wouldn't go for it. They want to see if they can dent the scoreboard tonight. They're down 35 Zippo. You look at the Hampton coaching staff, and now the Warriors are going to take their final timeout. What do you think? We're going to Bob and I are trying to figure out who to give the player of the game to. Okay, that looks good. So, players of the game. I'll announce the Hampton one. I'll let you do the Kecoughtan. And our Hampton player of the game is, drum roll, Derek Fenner. And again, great night for Joe Smith, Carlos Campbell, but these guys have won it before, and we want to spread it around, and Fenner's had a good night, so we're going to give it to Derek Fenner. And again, no slighting at all of the superb night that Joe Smith had, 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, and we're going to go with Corey C. Davis, number 55, the 6'2", 265-pound lineman. He's just a sophomore.
Post. Hey, double B.
But again, we emphasize we want to spread that award around, so we try to pick out some players that may not score all the touchdowns and get all the yardage. Kecoughtan is going to be real close to the first down. The mark will be crucial. It looks like they have it if he spots the ball across the 10, and it appears that that's where they're going to mark it. And they do have it.
They got the first down
by the nose of the ball. So they had to get across the 10, and they got the job done. Now they'll have 4 downs with no timeouts. Now they've burned all their timeouts, so they're going to need to get the plays in quickly or they'll lose 5. Watch the replay for the first down. And they just barely got it. Looked like number 60, Stephen Lee, made the stop, but not until they had the first down. Thompson wants to throw in the end zone now. He one-hops one to player right side. That's been his favorite target here in the ball game. That one was a one-hopper, and of course the advantage for the Warriors is it stops the clock with 5:57 to go.
No.
And here the Hampton coach is instructing the defense.
No. 60.
Second and goal.
Hey, 4.
You can yell, hear the coach is yelling 4. That must be a defensive alignment. Out of the shotgun, Thompson has heavy rush. He is nailed as he let the ball go. Good, clean hit, but boy, did he pay a price.
Mac Jones.
Oh, my goodness, Mac truck. Exactly. I mean, you're going to check and make sure all the fillings are still in the teeth after that shot.
I mean, the pass was behind him, and that was why. You
watch the 4 of them coming. I mean, we're talking a jailbreak here, and there you saw it. This Thompson nailed.
Clean hit.
Oh, no question about that. Third and goal at the 10. Thompson on the option, and he will just get back to the 11-yard line. It's Stephen Lee over there, along with that aforementioned number 32. That is Lawrence Callis. And now it's 4th and goal, and the Warriors are going to try a field goal. Want to dent the scoreboard some way, shape, or form if they can. Broski will have it teed up at the 17-yard line. That'll make it a 27-yard attempt.
Matt Cross, number 11, the backup quarterback, is the one who's holding.
So the Warriors, Broski, and he had it partially blocked. The Crabber defense, no sir, not on our turf. You're not going to get a field goal or anything if we can help it.
Well, I tell you, it was like a jailbreak coming in there.
So the touchback on the ball, it went into the end zone. Yeah, you like that cliche? That was a good one, huh? Not in our backyard.
Hey, I don't have those on here. Jailbreak and in my own backyard.
See if we can replay that and we can pick out who blocked it if we have that, Scotty. Can we see who might have gotten a hand on it? We won't have time at this point.
And we'll see it at the end of this play.
Okay. 20-yard line is where they bring it out. Hampton keeps that shutout going, 35-0. Some of the crowd starts to head to the parking lot.
We got a new quarterback.
Williams.
Jimmy Williams quarterbacking.
He picks up about 3. All right, let's see if we can pick out who might have gotten a hand up. Just
I tell you,
too many hands.
I could see the player, but there's no way I could pick up the number.
Thank you, Mr. Director. We appreciate that effort. We'll have to give that as a team block because it looked like any one of 3 guys might have gotten a hand on it. Second down and 7 for Hampton. Clock moving, 4:35 to go in the ball game. Ball is on the ground, and the Crabbers get it right back as Jimmy Williams covered his own fumble.
You got a couple more cliches that might work.
Oh, what you got?
It's all over by the shouting. Turn out the lights. The party's over. Give them credit for they flat out beat us. They just plain out hustled us. They wanted it more. They showed a lot of class, but we need to look in the mirror. This is a real wake-up call.
Stop.
It just wasn't our day. And I'm proud of these guys. I take full responsibility. Coaches are hired and fired, and it's been a great ride. I look forward to spending some time with my family.
We're going to Disneyland. Oh, my. Well, it's hard not to have the cliches on occasion. And that was more than I wanted.
Oh, nice.
Derek Fenner,
player of the game.
That's
Derek
right.
Fenner.
Thank you, Derek.
Whoa.
And a flag
we
down.
got a flag, but I tell you, a great pass that time by Jimmy Williams, but great hands by Derek.
Pass interference against Hampton. So that will negate that fine effort. And the penalty will wipe out the first down.
If it's offensive pass interference, then that's a loss of down too, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll let Mr. Dozier explain that. I'm not going to be refereeing any longer.
Fancy offense. Half the distance is down. Fourth down.
It is. It brings up, Tim, it brings up a loss of down, half the distance of the goal line. So we will have a punt.
Loss it down, as you said. So Campbell will stand back in his own end zone. Looks like the Warriors will have at least another opportunity. Big rush put on, and Campbell gets it away.
Nice
punt. And this one will go sideways and be touched dead by the Hampton Crabbers at the 46-yard line. So the Warriors will have it once again with 3.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. 35-0, Hampton on top. Hampton will
you do any more cliches?
Start working on the Phoebus game next week. Now I'm going to see. You can't make a statement without a cliche anymore.
Just about. We do want to thank Engraving Ink and Dave Buckwalder and Islander Sporting Goods and John Roberts for allowing us to recognize the players of the game. Nice pass.
And a different quarterback threw that pass, and it's still going down to the 10-yard line. That was number 13, Andrew Allen, a junior. His first attempt tonight, and he completes the pass to number 17, Drew Williams. And that's a big gainer all the way down to the 10-yard line.
I don't know that the Hampton defender didn't fall down. No, right there. One of Campbell slipped.
But he really wasn't in the area where the ball was caught. From the 10, and the quarterback keeper to the 9.
And Kecoughtan, Tim, has absolutely no timeouts.
Andrew Allen, number 13, the quarterback. 3 minutes, and the clock is moving. Second and goal. They really ended up with exactly the same thing they had the last time, a first and goal with the ball right on the 10. Crabbers want to preserve that shutout. Allen over the middle. It's up in the air. Oh, player had it, but they knocked it away from him.
Oh, he didn't come down with it.
No, well, he got it on the deflection, and he couldn't hold on to it because he was hit by 2 Crabbers. Watch the replay here. It's going to see a lot of Kecoughtan Warriors have a shot at catching this ball, and there's player, and they just separated him from the ball. So it's third and goal. Ball at the 9. Double wide receivers to each side. Allen throwing for the corner. No.
The man was open, Joseph Player.
Yep.
Just a little high.
So now it's fourth and goal. And now will the Warriors again try the field goal? I don't think so.
You're right. They're not going to do it. They can't call timeout.
So now in the ball game is George Harris, a junior, number 14. Allen is the quarterback. Over the middle, incomplete. Almost caught by that same Drew Williams, number 17, but Stephen Lee was there to bust it up. And once again, the Crabber defense stiffens and takes over at their 9-yard line. Well, the Warriors had a couple of good shots at it. Shutout number 5 looks like it might be preserved.
Jimmy Williams back in quarterback again. Or did you say that?
Nope, didn't get a chance to say that yet.
Okay.
You, by the way, you haven't used your penalty flag
We
call.
haven't been that many tonight.
No, I'm glad to say there haven't. And Williams swarmed under inside the 5 for a loss of looks to be about 6 or 7 yards on the play.
But I
See
did,
where they mark
but
his
I
forward
did
progress.
know that they lost the down.
Yeah, you were on top of that. Loss of 5. Campbell brings the play in. Now Campbell is playing a flanker.
Oh, he's played
Wide
flanker
out.
before.
Yep. Williams is the quarterback. And they stick on the ground. Williams, by the way, is a junior. Of course, Campbell is a senior, so Jimmy Williams would appear to be the heir apparent. Out to the 6, almost the 7. Clock
Third and
moving.
what?
Third and long. Third and about 13.
Yeah.
A minute 15. Clock continuing to move. Hampton will need to hurry because they've almost used all the time. Avoid that delay penalty. A minute and 2. They get it off. Williams, and he is stopped for a safety, so the Warriors will get the 2 points.
It looked like 80 is the one that got it, Tim.
So they couldn't do it with the offense, but the defense, who, in spite of the score of 35, really played well tonight. They just were on the field just way too long.
That
Here's
looks
the
like
replay.
Ed Ross, number 80, is the one right there. That's who got it.
So the safety turns out to be the only way the Warriors could get on the scoreboard, but they did. So there's a moral victory in there somewhere.
Yep.
And we're going to return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of tonight's ball game, but after this brief timeout. Back here at Darling Stadium, the Crabbers will have a free kick. You do need to emphasize, or I need to emphasize, that the defense for the Crabbers did not allow any points.
That is correct.
They'll be the first ones to remind us. And the ball falls off of the tee, so we'll try this one again. Aaron Whitehead will be the kicker. He's a junior. A little bit of a breeze blowing out here. It's going to...
Let's cool things down
Well,
a
I
wee bit.
probably won't ride home with the top down. Let's just put it like that.
I noticed you arrived with the top down.
I did. It was gorgeous. We've just had the most amazingly wonderful weather the last few weeks. Whitehead's kick is in the air, taken at the 41-yard line. And this is Manny Anderson down the sideline before driven out of bounds inside the Hampton 40 at the 39. So the Warriors will have it back, and they'll get a chance to try one more time to have the offense score some points. Warriors will fall to 3-5 and 3-4 in the district, and Hampton will improve to 7-1 and 6-1 in the district. And a nice pass over the middle, complete to Manny Anderson at the 26-yard line. A first down for the Warriors. Clock will stop while they advance the chains. Warriors are completely out of timeouts.
Be ready for the bomb, Joe. Carlos, get deep. Pick it off.
Now the clock will restart with 35 seconds to go.
Sack, Callis. Get him, get him.
And Callis will wrestle the quarterback down for a sack all the way back to the 40-yard line.
Well, that's one time where the quarterback should have kept inside. He tried to run away from and go outside from Callis, and Callis, you could hear the coaches, grab him, Callis.
Clock continues to move. We're less than 10 seconds now. Out of the gun, this would be the last play of the game. Unless there's a defensive penalty, the pass is incomplete, and the scoreboard clock shows the time has expired. So the Warriors, with the safety, are able to at least get that score on the board, but otherwise it was pretty much all Hampton as the Crabbers come away with a 35-2 victory. Our players of the game again,
Derek Fenner and Corey Davis.
All right, the final score, Hampton 35 and Kecoughtan 2 for Bob Henson, Bob Killen, and the entire Channel 46 crew. This is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.